Alright, what's up, buddy bots? So today we have Endless. So just over here there's a portal, just like the one that you get in Fields to head on over to Way Station. We now have one in the base camp, and supposedly this opens up Endless. It's nice to see that it's electric rather than gas powered. But yeah, we're going to go in. Supposedly the Elementalist has also been fixed, so I'm going to go in with Elementalist. We're going to go in at Guardian 4, sorry, not 5. I haven't been awake long when recording this. And we'll see how it goes, I guess. I'd like to run an ability Elementalist, because that's kind of a good starting point with Elementalist to see how much it's been buffed. Loading screen is pretty cool. Okie doke, so we've got a dark area with glitches everywhere. This is kind of cool. I like the look. Oh, we've got an elephant gun that now has Havoc, by the way. So they have changed elephant gun to be a bit of a stat stick. We'll see how that turns out. So this is the thing before that wasn't working. So the mantra damage bonus. Now I don't have anywhere to test it here. So I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do this first bit without leveling up. And then we will see if the damage looks like it's working properly. I hate this thing, even with Havoc. I don't think Havoc is the correct gimmick for it, but it gives it something. It's now worth picking up for some builds. And we can see that this is, off the bat, this is Canyons, but with glitch everywhere. I wonder if that's always going to be your starting area, as the Canyons with glitch everywhere, or if it's just happenstance that that's my first run. I'm not sure where my prediction for how good Elementalist is now that its mantra's been fixed. I suspect it will be stronger than Guardian, which is actually quite a high bar now. Obviously it won't beat out NG unless NG summons scaling has been fixed. But we'll have to see. We do still get these purple runes, it seems. I actually really like purple runes. It was a bit of a shame when you could skip them all with gadgets. I completely understand why that was a change that's made. And oh, it's now just a loot rune. You go straight into it. Okay. Well, I've got a level 1 weapon at the moment, so I'm going to swap it out for level 3 Beluga. Be a bit cell efficient. I don't mind Beluga either. No, don't know if I got that one. I missed the chain because I pressed the button when it was something that wasn't chain, and then it didn't work. A lot of enemies. Oh, look at that. Fantastic off the bat. It's got Fork. It's got Shock. And Turbo. Turbo for melee attack. Yeah, this almost couldn't have rolled worse, but okay. I just took a lot of damage now. Okay. It's the next level. And we've got these glitches now. Increase enemy damage by 25%, but reduce their health by 15%. And that's interesting because that reduces their scaling a little bit because their health has been reduced. And if you're adept at not taking damage, then this is just a buff. And we can see a save and quit option here. That's sweet, because obviously endless stages are going to go on for so long that you're not just going to do 8 hours straight. Assuming you can survive that long. Okay, and now we have Haven glitched. Layout's very similar than if you were actually at Haven, but let's test out. This is shock, so 23 damage normally, and then 27 when it's the same elemental type. So base starting for mantra is 20%. So you would expect about 4 damage increase. 23, 27, 4 damage increase. So now if I grab mantra bonus, we'd expect like a 1.5 damage increase, and it was another 3 damage. Not 1.5, sorry, it would be 2.5, which would round up. So yeah, it looks like it now is a flat increase rather than multiplicative of the original number. So that's big. That is a flat 15% damage bonus you can get from an upgrade now, which is what it needed. Okay, we're going caster. So I'm going to grab Inner Fire off the bat. I'm going to grab Duality for the cooldown. Now this does mean our damage is going to be a little bit lacking off the bat, but it'll be fine, I believe. Can afford both the Comet and the Yo-Yo. We're not spending any cells on upgrading, and we're not gambling, so we're just going to go at it. Okay. So, remembering that Trinity is always going to be the correct element. So having a 15 damage bonus on that is also going to really help this build, because previously it just wouldn't have scaled properly. Oh, we've got a room this time, so it's not just going through. See where this room goes. So quite a bit of damage there. That 25% damage increase is a lot. Okay, so this is, it's got a party room. I feel like I'm doing no damage because I didn't take a damage scale off the bat. I took utility off the bat. Ugh. Their health already feels too high for this build. But, I mean, we're used to that playing Elementalist, right? You've got no real damage bonuses, so you can't really judge yet. That. Okay. Yeah, just a nifty little party room in the middle of it. I wonder if they're going to be every other run that you get party rooms, or if it's going to be a little bit more random. I don't mean every other room, I mean like every other stage. That's what it calls it. Okie dokie. I don't care about. I don't really care about any of these. Get Meteor. I'm going to grab Attunement because we still don't want any bonus damage because we're Glutton's Punishment. We've got Railbots in Haven style map, that's cool. Get a decent gun on the go. Boss damage up and running, there we go. Because one thing I do worry about, some of the leaks that we've had talked about 2 bosses. And one thing this build has always had an issue with is bossing. So it might not be a great idea taking this into Endless if the bossing is going to be potentially twice as hard. We already struggle with it, but we'll see. Do you think we're going to get a boss every 3 stages or every 2 stages? Guess we're about to find out. Ooh, that looks like a boss door to me. Okay. I want to grab Chain Genius. So the reason we picked Chain Genius here is the lightning bit of Trinity scales a little bit better than Fireball. The additional radius from Fireball sucks. And shards just are kind of lame. They don't do good damage really. This is the only one that gets increased damage and its base damage is higher. So Shard Genius should be your pick, but more often than not the Chain Lightning one is just going to serve you better. It's a lot better at mobbing, a little bit worse than Shards for bossing. But it should be good. What do we have? Okay, we do have 2. The Groovy Guardians. Okay. Oh yeah, we've got Chaos Coaster going around the outside. We do have Lava. I wonder if that's way going up or not. And then we've got Judgeful. Judgeful does not do the same attacks. He doesn't have lasers down the sides. He's just shooting. So a little bit of an easier Judgeful, albeit part of 3-way fight. And I said 3-way, not 2-way, because it's 2 of them and 1 of me. Okay, the lava is rising up. And as predicted, this damage is abysmal. It's fine. We survived it. There we go. That was slow, but we're still kicking. Time's up. Adds a timer to each level. Once it expires, you take damage every few seconds. I really hope this scales up. And this is a singularity, so these are major ones, I believe. I think there's 2 different types. There's singularity and then there's hacks or something like that, or glitches. The glitches are minor, singularities are major. Okay, so now we've got a timer, so now we are speedrunner mode while playing an elementalist that hasn't stacked any damage yet and is all utility. We'll grab Toaster because we're not always doing burn at the moment. Don't want any of these upgrades. I feel like Ice Cube could be a bit of a risk to take, so I'm actually going to take a piece of cake at the moment. And we'll roll it. We're going to be surviving off random drops at the moment until our cell economy looks like it's stable enough to be sustaining weapons and items, because items are primary for this build, weapons are secondary, and so far it feels like cell economy isn't so high that I can just throw them away. We'll have to see how that scales up. I predict there will be, obviously it's endless, there are only so many items, so eventually there will be a point where we're not spending anything on items anymore, and then it will just be upgrades. Unless they've added in any functions to deal with that potential issue. And as you can see, this build clears a lot better than it bosses. Still not necessarily fast. That build, does that bar going up or down? Okay, that's an interesting design choice. It's going up instead of down like most of their other bars. I was worried for a second then that I was almost out of time already. Mantra cycles, increased damage. 35%, my first damage increase. Right. 2 seconds in this build currently where that damage increase will not be active. I've just missed my last 3 lasers and I've took damage. There's cut and run, which when they're dealing increased damage is not good. That's a lot of these. A whole lot of these. They're not good bees, they're flies, but that's not the point. We're not far off from being able to just infinitely cast. When we can infinitely cast things, we get a lot easier. This is a build that always struggled early, and I don't see why mantra changes would have made that less of a struggle. Cool, still alive. Put that in case we mess up. Ooh! Got the laser beam doing that. I think we're going to head into the purple area because they just seem to be free items now. No potential risks involved with them anymore. Not that there really is a risk to them anymore once you get used to them, but you know what I mean. Hey, we got TV remote. Big risk taking that, and we'll see if it pays off or not, but for infinite cooldown, it's a must. Well, it's not a must actually, you get potentially 5 or more perks now, so it might not be required anymore, but we've got it. And as you can see, we can almost infinitely cast lightning chains now. We'll go for auto crit. I don't really fancy using my reroll at the moment. And it's something. It'll be a bit more cooldown. It'll be more damage when we're crits. That should work. If I can get Poppy as well, then we'll be on 50% crit off the bat. Coming up a little bit too often there, but we're going to spend most of this game now hacked, so we'll see how that works on fighting 2 bosses. Decrease comet damage by 20%. Well, shucks. Well, I'm glad I'm not doing a comet build, because now my comet will do nothing. That's going to be annoying to play around if you've already got your perks up and you start getting glitches that just nullify your build. I'm going to grab a bit of armour. I could grab Crab Keyring here, but our comet's doing nothing anyway. Adding burn to it isn't that important. And reducing damage a little bit sounds good to me. I'm worried about how high things might scale. Then you lock on a little bit like he's supposed to do. Thank you. Pop. Up. Pop. There we go, our clear speed is picking up now when our chains are actually hitting. Even better when we can
have our chain doing dual elements, so then there's a higher chance that it will always be proccing burn. As we all know, burn is such a good element. But then we've also got bonus crit damage from Yo-Yo as well, so when we get cryo burn lasers hitting everything, that's going to be most things that aren't bosses dead very easily. I haven't seen any Goliaths yet, so I wonder if they've been taken out or if it's just a later game thing. Dealing crits reduces cooldown, sounds good to me. There we go, lovely jubbly. Go away. I actually want to pick this up. One thing that would be nice to see is a it doesn't quite work because I know not every class has a primary damaging ability, like NG for instance. But item statistics that work for your primary ability as well as your rather than your secondary ability would be pretty sweet. There's Rocket, Commando and Trinity builds would really appreciate that. We'll grab another Trinity stack. Just in case we thought we didn't have enough. Okay, now we've got a boss, so we're still a little bit lacking in damage. And potentially being hacked as well. The Justice Crew, Judge Ball and... oh, okay. This time he's not shooting rockets. Ooh, that actually was very close. Yeah, that was a tough one. Build just doesn't do enough boss damage to make those easy. Anyway, we've got a Singularity, so they seem to unlock after boss fights. Turrets have a chance to shoot faster and deal increased damage, so that'll be a bit nasty for sniper turrets. We'll see how quickly they trigger. Not hitting full health. Hey look, screwdriver. Most pointless item ever. Both of these fantastics aren't fantastic. I'm going to take this. I'm going to risk Aftershock stuns, ending my run early. But give me more damage. And then yeah, we've got no cells. I feel like what is it, Lumin Pow item is actually going to be quite big. Because there's so many mobs, you're getting a lot of healing cell drops, so having those healing cells just be more efficient will be pretty good. I'm going to trust that we're going to have enough cooldown. I'm going to go crit damage because we are struggling with damage at the moment. He says clearing the room in like 2 casts. like a flower pot to reduce hack time. Spend a lot of time doing it. We can get a lollipop as well, increase our cast time. And we'll be cooking. Can't quite just hold down the button yet. We're on a 1 second cooldown between pots. So what kind of builds do I think are so far it's going to feel like it's going to work well? I mean, Summon Envy's just going to dominate quite handily. I feel like boss damage is actually going to be more important than it was in the base game. Fighting 2 bosses is going to be very challenging for a lot of people. I mean, I'm struggling with it, and I've literally wrote the guides on how to fight a lot of the bosses. But I'm also not using a boss fighting build. So it might actually end up being more worthwhile prioritising boss fighting. But it'll be interesting to see how the quote-unquote meta deals with it. So we can have 5 packs, so I'm comfortable taking Elemental Resonance here. Right, my kid has now come downstairs, so I'm going to drop the mic and the commentary probably for the rest of this round. And then what we're going to actually end up doing probably is utilising the save function. I'll pause the video, I'll pause the run, and then we'll come back to it and we'll see how that functions. Yeah, so far this is feeling good. Stage 5 not particularly high, I think we saw Oats in over 20s, so hopefully we can get similar results. We'll just see what our singularity is. It's a singularity upgrade, so it's an upgrade to the singularity, and further increase the chance for turrets to shoot faster and deal increased damage, so they're buffing turrets even more. And I do have a grappling hook, yes. Okay, so let's hit the save and quit function, and we'll pick this video up in, well, for you guys it'll be a couple of seconds, for me it might be a couple of hours. Cheers guys. What up guys, so I'm back. Now it's been a little bit longer than planned, but let's hit the continue button and see how this save function works. Going straight back into it. Can't remember what I was doing or what my setup was. I'm actually gonna grab rice cooker at the moment. Sure, we'll grab butter, why not? Don't care about those. Oh yeah, we've got cool. Why is my meteor wasn't working? Can't wait until I can get more consistent burn on this, so we're actually doing some damage. We're on stage 6, we know we can get a lot higher than that. Where's... thank you. Some damage. Ooh, I'll take that as well. Very high drop. rate of rarity here. Everything's popping. Oh, it's got fork. Points. Oh, we're stuck in the corner of the pack. I thought it was going to run out for some reason. Fantastic vipers on the floor. It's not that much of a fantastic drop, but it's a drop. Pop, pop, pop. Booster. Ooh, that killed everything so hard. More elemental damage explosion. Not normally a perk that I would pick, because it's normally like by the time you would bother getting it, it's like too late in the run for it to be useful, and there's other perks that are more useful. Plus, we're not sure exactly how many upgrades or perks you get in this run at the moment. Hey, it's the Diggy Brothers. So cool, different colours. So we're going to want to focus the one that is shooting. Okay, they didn't both spray too hard there. Again, this build's actually got quite a big buff from having two bosses, because it actually means you can AoE isn't as useless against bosses. Whoop. Let's hit the run. Oh, he's underneath me. That could have been bad. That was not a good hack, but we're alive. That's the important thing. New singularity. Angry rovers. Replace all rovers with security rovers. So that's like the rail bots, I think. We've got more singularities than we do glitches. So actually more singularities, more major than minors. That's interesting. It's all useless. I'll take explosive damage, it's whatever. Yeah, more mantra damage, it actually scales, so just a flat 15 damage increase to our ability. Should also scale with flat 10% damage increases from the elemental buffs. Kind of insane. Now that it actually works. What is this up? Why does everything I pick up fork? It's forking annoying. Everything gets popped now. So when are we going to get our 5th perk? Oh, of course, they're railbots now, not... I was expecting that just to be safe, and I got shot up so bad in the back. It's close. Okay, don't forget about that. Noted. Could have been the end of the run right there, and we wouldn't even have got to the 5th. Again, remember, you're going to have a bunch, and they're all going to be shooting at you. just sucks. Just rolled really badly. Okay, so level 15 is when you get perk. Cool. What are we looking for? We kind of want Robo Wizard. I know I said I wanted to make my Trinity multi-element. But we shouldn't have taken Elemental Resonance, really. So I'm not going to get the build that I wanted here, but Robo Wizard is huge damage buff, so hopefully that will make up for not being burned every time. Oop. This cleans house so hard against rooms. Like, this is kind of crazy. See how it scales, but it's going to scale with your level rather than anything else, so it'll probably scale better than weapons do. We don't have like high crit chance yet, so we don't really want Chili Pepper right now. I do want Chili Pepper in the future, but not until I've got like Poppy. Grab marking, it'll help with bossing. I'll jump back into that, that's not good. My weapons deal no damage at the moment, but that's to be expected. Enemies have less chance to drop weapons, that's fine, we don't care about weapon drops. Okay, I'm going to take helicopter, and we finally get a flower pot. I don't need those cursed items. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear, hopefully I'm going to clear this stage, and then I'm going to stop recording and just see how far I can get, and then we'll pick the recording back up again when we're like a higher level, see how far our upgrades go, and see what happens when you potentially have all of the upgrades. Or I could just die now. Got screwed up by those rovers again. They are nasty. Unless you one-hit them with the laser beams. That was again another attacks are not coming at the nice times. Rare that there is a nice time, but and we are casting so much that we expect it to happen, but just a bit over rusty I think right now. Elemental damage. Pop, pop. Oh, walk back into that shot. Oh, the lovely healing. Oh, walk back into that shot. It's okay. We're fine. We're surviving. We're not at the point yet where damage is going to one-hit us. I don't know if we're going to get to that point, but we'll see. Pop all of those, pop all of those. there's one more. Oh yeah, of course. I was like, why are turrets so nasty? We've got one of the negative effects is buffing turrets, isn't it? That's why they're so nasty. Time's doing fine. When mantra cycles instantly recover Trinity and Comet cooldown. That's not that useful for us. So I'm going to go for attack speed. A little bit more. A little bit better casting time. Okay, so we've got rockets. That got destroyed. Alright, adds Goliath Digglers and Burrow Pods to each level and increases their damage. No idea what those are. Okay. Healing cells reduce Trinity, that's more spam. Increase pickup range, it's a bit more survivability. I know what I said last room, I'm just gonna keep recording. I'm just gonna keep recording. Maybe after the next boss we'll do it like that. I'll take healing cells actually, because of how much healing cells are dropping. It's kind of big. Whoa, what the? Okay, hello. You cover everywhere in lasers. Interesting. No, no, no. There's not a one-time enemy. It's not a one-time enemy, idiot. You need to get out of that. Okie dokie. We're fine. We just went from full health to no health. It's fine. Pop everything. That was much cleaner. We're gonna need to exchange our weapon soon, because I think our weapon's getting out-leveled. Yeah, this build definitely feels okay. Like, it's not ridiculous, don't get me wrong, it's not going to be the strongest build in the game, but it's not feeling like I'm lackluster. It still might be Elementalist's weakest build, and it's definitely not one of the weaker builds in the game now. Yeah, let's grab more cooldown, because we are sometimes running out, and we're getting more casting speed. Those are so tanky. Recast time on this is still not great. Cleaning house, increase primary ability cooldown by 35%. Okay, well the build is literally ruined. Like, GG's, thank you game, yep. I don't like that. We've literally now just got a glitch that has ruined the whole build, so this run is probably dead. Just because now a core function of it is just not going to work, so that's kind of lame. I understand why it's like that, and like, yeah, play around it, but literally we don't do any damage with anything but our ability. So I guess going forward, meta idea would be don't put all your eggs in one basket and make sure your build can change around whatever glitches you're going to be getting. So I don't know if you can get these glitches and singularities more than once. If you can, then like potentially your cooldowns will get so low that it's literally pointless using them. No cooldown again. I wonder if there's going to be like a maximum number of singularities you can get, or if it's just going to endlessly scale. Because if it endlessly scales, then you're almost guaranteed to get cooldown things, and I've not really seen anything that affects gun builds yet. Obviously I haven't seen all of them, but we can still get what they called, the French fries. We can still get fries, so our build might still be, we might be able to save it if we get poppy and French fries, and then we'll start getting a bit more cooldown. But yeah, that's kind of a huge DPS nerf that we've had now. Okay, so we might just lose here. Oof, that's close. .800 health just gone like that. Right, we can still clear house apparently. But our bossing is non-existent now, because it was non-existent before and we've got less DPS. The Buzz Gang... Okay. How high can I get? Not high enough. Kind of forgot to mark. Yeah, the damage wasn't actually too bad considering I was mildly upset with my cooldown. Maybe a little bit over salty on my build being heavily nerfed by one thing. At least have a chance to be faster, have more health, and an eye patch to protect them from weak spots. Well, I hope you're running auto crit in your builds then, if that's an option. Popcorn. Hey, Lumo power, more healing. That's really nice. Look at how much healing we've got from Lumo. Oh yeah. I wonder how the timer's going to work. If you run out of time, you start taking damage every second, then you pick up a beach ball. I wonder how much damage a second it is. And the beach ball just save you and then repeatedly trigger, so you're never actually losing health. So if it's low enough damage, if it's like 1 damage a second, then it could be very possible. I should have picked up one of the weapons back there. This is terrible. Oh. Let's go for casting speed. I know we don't have the cooldown reduction to keep up with it now, but there we go. Goes out. They're pretty nasty. So I very much kind of went into focus mode there. I apologise. There was very little commentary per second. Damage scales hard. Damage is certainly scaling it up. Get this health back up, please. Sure, we'll have some more Trinity cooldown on him. But we don't have a very short mantra cooldown, so it's not going to help that much, but it's something. No, I don't want to be less tanky, to be fair. I don't need the extra damage on the damage that I am doing. Boom. Jetpack fuel reduction, that's fine. Some people struggle with that, but it's not a big deal. Hot dog will be sweet. May as well grab a bowl, that's fine. Pop, pop, pop. That's so satisfying when you get a room that you can just nuke them all down with lasers. Bluey. Everything is getting owned. Oh, okay, so we've reached 26, so 5 perks, and what, 21 upgrades? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I'm only counting 19 upgrades. 24, I've just hit 26. I must have miscounted somewhere. Okay. So we've got healing, you get more power cells, or you just get flat damage in 90 seconds. Okay. So I guess I'm probably... Holy shizzle. Oh, okay, I'm dead. Stun into... hack into hack. Okay, well, stage 12 is where obviously we'd expect you to reach your maximum level, and then it looks like you start just getting some generic upgrades. It'd be interesting to see how long singularities keep going for, but there you go, that's my first run. Stage 12 is nothing impressive, that's quite abysmal really. But that's what comes of playing a build that hacks yourself and isn't particularly strong. So thank you very much for watching. Highest damage of 5.7k. Stage 12. Thank you very much. Peace out.